Okay, so okay, this video, um, I want to demonstrate the difference between the shared point and unique point in C++, especially, uh, I will use C++ 14 to demonstrate my code. If you're using C++11 or some other version, I think it will be fine. Um, so So what we're going to do is that I want to share some code to let you know understand the difference between the shared point and the unique point. It's pretty simple. I'm not going to go very deeply into this topic because there are some more videos about some deep knowledge about the memory allocation about the shared point and unique point. So in my video, it's just a simple demonstration. Um, so it's it's just an intro to the point knowledge for some C++ beginners. So okay, so let's show my code. And I have basically I have a base class, which is a media asset, and which has a virtual function, which has which since it's a virtual function, so we have to overwrite it in our derived class. So I defined two subclasses. One is photo, another one is song. So as for photo, we have three private features, and all of them are string. And we have like a constructor, and we have set data function, and we have print info, which is used to overwrite the virtual print info in our base class. And this is destructor, which lets us know when we needed to delete the object we just create in our code. It's very similarly, the class song has very similar functions to the photo class. So we have two private features, which all of them are strings. And this is our constructor, and this is our print info function, and this is a destructor. Okay, pretty simple. Okay, so let's say um, the difference between sorry, the difference between the unique pointer and the shared pointer, and just uncomment it. So the first one is a shared point, and the second one is the unique pointer. And I'm just divided them into two different blocks. Okay, so in the first code block, and we define a shared pointer, which is sp1, and then we define another shared pointer sp2. We try to copy sp1 to sp2. Actually, um, as for more details, you can imagine that when we define sp2, the sp2 didn't allocate new memories. It used the exact same memory as sp1. The only difference, the only thing it did is that we just increase the reference count. So the reference count, all the things is will be 2 instead of 1. Okay, so as for the standard, the code block, the sp3, we define sp3, which is points to a new memory location, which we just allocated. It's for the class, right? And then what we're going to do, we want to do the same thing as the shared class. Sorry, it should be photo. And we want to define a new shared unique pointer sp4, and we want to do the same thing as the shared pointer above, and we want to copy the sp3 to the sp4. But the interesting thing, well, you know this expectedly, it will be fair. Why? Because it's a unique pointer. Unique pointer means that as for the same memory location or the same object, we cannot transfer the ownership to another pointer. So SP3, the ownership of this object will be fixed to the SP3. So any other pointer cannot attain the ownership of this object. But a shared pointer, on the other hand, the ownership can be transferred and can be shared. That's why this code will be fine. And over here, it will fail. I will just come over here and to let you know the difference. So that expectedly it will successfully compiled since we just comment the second block. Okay, let's compile it. And we have output, right? So it outputs the information correctly since after things we can successfully use this line code to execute. But if we do the same thing for the unique pointer, it will fail. Let's. I want to make sure I saved it correctly. Right. So you will find that when we trying to compile it, it will fail. Exactly, we cannot do the same thing as the shared pointer because the same object can only be obtained by one single point. That's why it is called the unique point. Okay, so yeah. So if we uncomment this, it can be successfully compiled. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is just a simple demonstration, and I hope this example will help you understand the big difference between shared pointer and unique pointer. But there are more interesting stuff as for this topic. So if you're interested, you definitely can check more details online or to check other YouTube videos.